So I wanted to do a video on this too. For me, it's kind of like this. I don't get it. Okay, so if I was part Chinese and I didn't want to be part Chinese, I would probably not try to eat Chinese food, speak the Chinese language, have certain Chinese customs. I would try not to be a stereotypical Chinese person for that matter, in any regard. But it always seems like, honestly, like a lot of the time, people do not follow this trend or idea. If you do not want to be seen as a specific thing, people always think that they don't realize how people are perceiving them, basically. They don't realize what kind of person they are presenting. So I'm talking about that whole live I was talking about in my last video. I was talking about the first point, with talking about how there is no light-skinned Chrissy channel, right? Now I'm kind of just like thinking, here's another part of this. Okay, of the golden sphere, you guys want to call yourselves mixed and not specifically black. You want to distance yourself from blackness. This has been the case since 2019 that I've watched. It's probably been before that too, but I'm just saying a major thing I fought over with a lot of the people in the golden sphere back then was racial background. People trying to say that, mixed is better. I'm gonna try and promote that I'm mixed even though I'm black, and nonsense shit, okay? So for me, my perspective is that I think, you would think at least, that a lot of people who believe that they aren't black would not try to make themselves out to be the biggest stereotype of a black person. A big stereotype of a black woman is being loud, boisterous, aggressive, intimidating, talking about fighting, being animalistic, unladylike, masculine. All of those traits were shown on that live stream, literally talking about beating women up. And how do you expect to be seen as anything but a stereotypical black woman when you are talking in the way that ghetto black women talk? When you are acting the way ghetto black women act. I remember a few years ago on another person's channel, they were talking about how dark-skinned black women were acting aggressively and beating someone up, namely a light-skinned woman. I think she may have been biracial. And it was kind of like she was acting like she was someone who was supposed to be, I guess, more feminine or civilized, while the dark-skinned women were supposed to be more animalistic. But when I look on YouTube of content creators that I've seen, honestly, to be completely honest, I do not see any dark-skinned black women that I personally watch acting that way. Now, probably they're on here. I can think of somebody, but she's not dark-skinned. She's like a shade darker than me. She's like brown-skinned. She tries to fit herself into dark skin sometimes, I think, but sometimes she's opportunistic, let's just say that. But anyway, I don't even really want to talk about her. I don't even know if she's still here on YouTube, but generally, I've not seen really many dark-skinned black women act the way they depict dark-skinned black women to act on some of those channels, yet they display that exact same behavior, And, you know, it's been this way for years. And it's always been weird to me because, one, from my personal experience, I've always known this and I've known why. People say sometimes people of lighter hues will act that way more like exaggerated when they act like a stereotype of, a hood, ghetto black woman because they're making up for their lacking in melanin, basically. And it's like, that's a normal thing, with some light-skinned black women I've seen. And it's kind of like, I don't know, like, it's odd to me because it's like, why would you call someone else out for behavior that I've seen in light-skinned black women and light-skinned black men, and you are personally displaying yourself? Like, if you were acting more classy, if you were acting more civilized, if you were acting more mainstream, at least have proper English. At least, carry yourself like you are on a higher level. But you can't. And why can't you? I don't know why you can't, but you can and you're not. So, I don't know. It's just like, why are you making yourself out to be a stereotype when the very thing that you are a stereotype of is the very thing you want to get away from? You don't want to be seen as black, but you're being the epitome of the worst stereotype of black women. You're making dark-skinned black women embarrassed that you have black in you when you act that way. And to me, it's just like, not wanting to be black is a bad thing. I understand that. It's self-hating, obviously. But could it be some good byproduct that came with it? Like, you still have to act like a ghetto hood black woman? Why? Why do you still have to act that way? Like, I mean, don't you know you're already stereotyped to be that way? Wouldn't that be one thing you could change? Wouldn't that be one thing you could improve? It doesn't take anything but behavior to change, And many people who are proud of being black don't even act like that terrible stereotype. Many of the people you're talking down on being full black or being dark-skinned are looking down on you because look at what you've made yourself out to be. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on this video. It's just like the representation of those people on that live was horrendous, in my opinion. It was just like, goodness, you say you want to act like you aren't a black person. You don't want people to see you as a black person. But by that, you're not even just seen as a black person. You're seen as a black person of the lowest caliber. You're seen as a black person of the lowest class. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't understand why people don't think before they act. Think before you talk. Think before you do anything, Think of how you are making yourself look. Think of how you are representing yourself. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and bye.